Picture this. You're in a commercial gym. Neon lights, mirrors everywhere, influencers filming TikToks, and guys doing 15 variations of cable flies. Now rewind 60 years. A dim basement gym. Rusty barbells, no mirrors, just chalk, sweat, and iron. If you drop today's optimized routines into that basement, the old school lifters wouldn't just laugh. They'd call you soft. Back then, lifters had one motto: keep it simple, but brutal. Reg Park, Arnold's idol, wasn't doing 15 fancy machines. His training was 5x5 squats, bench, presses, rows, deadlifts. Heavy, consistent, repeat. Today, scroll Instagram and you'll see 12-week hypertrophy splits with circus-looking moves. But studies prove the basics are best. Research from the Journal of Strength and Conditioning shows multi-joint lifts like squats and deadlifts trigger more growth hormone and testosterone than isolation work. Arnold said it himself: the basics work then, the basics work now. The difference wasn't just exercises, it was how often they trained. Most lifters in the 50s and 60s hit full body 3 times a week. Every muscle, multiple times. Now? It's the bro split. Chest Monday, arms Tuesday, legs never. The problem? Science says training a muscle twice a week is better for growth than blasting it once. That's not theory, it's from Schoenfeld's 2016 meta-analysis. Old school lifters were decades ahead of the research. They knew the secret wasn't wrecking a muscle once, it was building it again and again. And they didn't just want size. They wanted strength. Doug Hepburn benched 500 pounds in the 1950s. Reg Park pulled 700 pounds. These were bodybuilders, not powerlifters. Modern gyms are full of people chasing pumps with light weights. Old school lifters would shake their heads. Because strength drives progressive overload, the foundation of muscle growth. Brad Schoenfeld calls it the #1 factor for hypertrophy. And the old legends built their physiques on it long before the textbooks said so. Their recovery habits would also put most of us to shame. Steve Reeves slept 9 to 10 hours a night. Arnold called sleep the best performance enhancer. Meanwhile, today's lifters stay up scrolling TikTok, slam caffeine, then stumble into the gym. Lack of sleep alone can drop testosterone by 15% in a week. That's from a University of Chicago study in 2011. Old school lifters didn't brag about grinding on 4 hours of sleep. They knew recovery wasn't optional, it was the weapon. Food was the same story. They weren't downing $70 pre-workouts and greens powders. They ate steak, eggs, milk, potatoes, oats, and liver. Vince Gironda even had his guys eating 36 eggs a day. And yes, the famous gallon of milk a day came from that era. Now people panic about hitting exact macros with apps and powders. But the science still points back to whole food. A 2015 study in the British Journal of Nutrition found whole protein sources are superior for muscle and recovery compared to powders alone. Old school lifters didn't stress, they just ate a mountain of food and grew. They'd laugh at your $9 smoothie with adaptogens, and let's not forget the equipment. Back then, gyms had barbells, dumbbells, and a pull-up bar. Today, rows of machines let you sit while you lift. But free weights recruit stabilizers and build coordination in ways machines can't. That's from the Journal of Applied Physiology in 2009. Old school lifters would look at someone glued to a chest press machine and say, if you can't lift it without the machine, can you really lift it? Even cardio was different. Modern lifters avoid it, afraid it'll kill gains. But the classics? They walked, biked, hiked, wrestled. Steve Reeves hiked the Hollywood Hills for conditioning. Eugen Sandow promoted gymnastics over a century ago. And research today proves cardio supports muscle by improving recovery and increasing mitochondrial density. The mindset was also different. For them, the gym wasn't content. It was sacred. No phones, no filming, no waiting 5 minutes to edit a TikTok before the next set. Science backs this too: distractions lower intensity and workout quality. Old school lifters went in to train, not perform for a camera. And the proof is in the physiques. Steve Reeves, Frank Zane, Arnold, balanced, aesthetic, and strong. No bloated guts, no fake muscles, no filters. They built their frames naturally with barbells, food, recovery, and focus. Science says natural lifters can realistically gain about 40 to 50 pounds of muscle above baseline. The old legends maxed out their genetics without any of today's biohacks, so what's the lesson? We've overcomplicated training. Modern lifters could learn everything from the old guard. Stick to the basics: squat, press, pull, deadlift. Train muscles more than once a week. Chase strength, not just the pump. Sleep like it matters, because it does. Eat real food first, supplements second. Use free weights more than machines. Condition your body, not just your arms. And above all, train with intent, not for likes. Do that, and not only will you train like an old-school bodybuilder, you'll build a physique they'd respect. So yeah, if you showed them today's workouts, they'd laugh. But not out of hate. Because we've forgotten what actually works. What do you think? Would Arnold laugh at your routine? Drop your thoughts below. And if you want more old-school wisdom and myth-busting, hit subscribe, because here, we expose the shredded truths.